Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Namaskar to all. So, as we all know, 21st of June 2020 is a very big solar event, that is an astronomical event, which is the solar eclipse, which is happening in the Gemini sign or the Mithuna Rashi. And this eclipse is happening at a time where we are facing this pandemic, and there's a lot of chaos, there's a lot of confusion, and there are a lot of questions being asked on how things will shape up, whether we will come back to normal or this is going to be the new normal. So among all these factors, we are going through this solar eclipse. So this solar eclipse is actually a very significant one, and we believe that it's going to bring in that required change, and it will also help us to break away from what is this confusion or chaos that's occurring in this world right now. Okay, so there are few more points why this solar eclipse all becomes very significant, because at this time what we are seeing is many or almost all the planets, when you look at, are forming a yoga called as the Kala Sarpa Dosha or Kala Sarpa Yoga. So this phenomenon happens very rarely, and this phenomenon actually occurs once in few decades, or you can also say once in a century. So because of which these kind of changes have occurred in the world today. So whenever we have observed, so these kind of positions have caused a lot of catastrophe, the world wars, all those things which are not really good for the humanity. Okay, so now if you really observe, like, there are 4 big planets which are retrograde, and then there is a conjunction of Jupiter and Saturn happening in Capricorn. Venus is retrograde in its own sign. So with all this, if you see, right, so this solar eclipse is going to have a lot of impact on humanity and largely on the globe. Okay, so it could be something related to the civilizations, that means different countries, people, cultures. Okay, so all these changes are going to come after this eclipse. So for all of us, the most interesting thing would be which part of the world or which part of our activity is going to get affected. So as we note that the third house, that is Gemini, is an Aries sign, and in an Aries sign, if you see something happening, and also this sign is owned by Mercury, so what we see is a huge impact on the business community or the businessmen, you can say. So they are going to be on the receiving side. That means they are already on the receiving side because of this chaos, because of this pandemic that is prevalent right now. So looking at the situation prevalent right now, if you see, the business community is already under tremendous pressure. Now this eclipse happening in the third house, where the Lord is Mercury, and then Mercury represents business as well. So it's going to be a little more challenging, but as we all know, the effect of the eclipse will last for a month or two, not more. So yes, there is going to be a problem, but at the same time we are going to get that respite maybe after a month or two. So businessmen, yes, this may be a concern for you, but again, looking at the time frame, brighter things are already there for you, so not much to worry. Now coming to the general public, we all would be interested in knowing how this eclipse is going to affect on all our moon signs, basically, or all our rashis. Now before that, in the Kalapurusha Kundali, if I see this eclipse is happening in the third house, so third house also represents the throat area, your voice, your voice box or your larynx is present there. It indicates even the respiratory process. Okay, so all these are going to be affected in a way or other during this time after the eclipse. Okay, so we all need to take care about that area. And if you see the last December when we had a solar eclipse, became the chaos started, you can say that. And then now we are hopeful that with this eclipse, yes, we will see some light, though this pandemic may not go away immediately, but definitely we will see that it will recede and we will find out a way to exist with this kind of pandemic and still thrive and grow. Okay, so now looking at different moon signs, that is, we start with Aries. For Aries, it is happening in the house of courage, that is the Vikramasthana, what we call the third house. So this eclipse is definitely going to bring in much of positive energy. So you'll be filled with energy. There are a lot of benefits that you can receive by sheer confidence and courage. You will be able to win through many issues. So make the best use of this time, and of course, there's nothing like praying in this time. So if you pray, if you do the japa, if you follow some mantras, I think it's going to really help you. Okay, so Aries is quite positive, so you need not really worry about anything. But if you want to enhance, then do the japa, pray to Mars, pray to Sun, okay, and get that energy and get going. Now looking at Taurus, for example, Taurus or Vrishabha Rashi, happening in the Dhanasthana, that is the second house, house of finance, house of speech, house of family, So all these areas of life are going to bring you that trouble. So you may not be really finding that success nor that satisfaction coming through from all these areas. So be very careful on your spending, and if there are any big investments that you're planning right now, probably it's wise to be kind of delaying them to maybe next month or so. So when the time becomes better for you. So for Taurus, definitely this eclipse is going to bring in a lot of challenges. So be very careful, be alert, and ensure that you follow the right path and make good progress. So of course there are remedies. You pray, you can pray to Venus, you can pray to Lord Ganesha. Okay, you can do the japa when the eclipse is on. Towards the end, I'll tell you what are the remedies that you can perform. Of course, you need to look at your health as well. Okay, so this is for Taurus or Vrishabha Rashi. Now looking at Gemini or Mithuna Rashi, the most challenging thing here would be that the eclipse is taking place in your sign or Rashi. So it's on your mind basically. So it's going to be a real challenge for you. Don't panic. Of course, challenges produce better individuals. Once you are able to come through these challenges, face these challenges, you become a better human being, and you can get that success that you deserve after this struggle. Okay, the main area that you need to really focus upon is health. So take good care of your health. Be alert when you drive, because you are susceptible to many accidents that could happen, could result in small wounds or bruises. So you better be careful and follow the remedies, slow and steady. I think that's the mantra for you for the next 1 or 2 months. Be gentle with your family members. Don't let your harsh words spoil the atmosphere. So that is one thing which you need to take care of. Okay, pray, take a mantra, do that japa, so that's going to help you in the long run. Now coming to Cancer also it's going to be very challenging, because the eclipse is happening in your 12th house. So 12th house means the house of expenses, house of losses. Of course it is house of spirituality as well. So we don't know. So this particular eclipse may kind of trigger something spiritual for you, but at the same time, on the material sphere, if you see, there are going to be many losses. So don't get disturbed. Have faith. This period is only going to last for a month or two, and then you can make your progress. Okay. So next, you have to be alert, you have to be careful, and then mainly take good care of your health. Some of the travels may not really bring in any good things for you. You may have some unplanned travels, but again the outcome would be minimal. So yes, plan your days well, and then do the mantra, do the japa, and you can do some charity. So based on that, yes, you can get through this period. Now coming to Leo or the Simha Rashi. So when we talk about the Simha Rashi, the eclipse starts when the Simha Lagna is there. So what happens is, this brings in a lot of benefits. So if you are a Simha Rashi or a Simha Lagna native, so it's going to bring in some good results for you, or I would say like there could be a lot of profits and gains that you can expect because of this eclipse. So what happens here is the eclipse is happening from if you look from 6th of 6th, that is the 11th house, so that is where your eclipse is happening. So it can bring in a lot of funds, that means a lot of wealth through competition as well, through litigations as well. So it's a good time. Pray Lord Sun and ensure that you get all that you deserve and all that you want. Okay. Now moving on to Virgo, that is the Kanya Rashi. For Kanya Rashi, it is happening in the Karma Sthana, that is the 10th house. I would not say that it will be very great, but at the same time it will be very positive. So you're going to get more gains out of this. So if you are looking for a job, yes, you may find one after the eclipse. If you are already in jobs, then you can expect some growth in that job. Okay, so then there are certain other things, there could be comfort, happiness around. So these are the positive things that you are going to gain. Of course, there may be one or two times where you may find some discomfort. That could be because of your Dashantara Dasha or the current transit that is going through in your chart. Okay, so you have to have a better look at your chart as well. But overall speaking, for Virgo or Kanya Rashi, it's going to be a good one. The eclipse is going to give you good results. Now moving on to Libra or the Tula Rashi. So this happens to be the 7th sign. This is actually not so beneficial because the eclipse is taking place in the Bhagyasthana. So Bhagyasthana will get hit. That means your luck factor may reduce to a greater extent. So be very wary about your plans and about your investments, about your interactions. There are plenty of opportunities for you getting humiliated in your work. Could be your workplace, could be your domestic atmosphere, could be your relatives, could be your friends. So it's not so favorable for you. So it's always good to do the remedies and then pray. This time will pass, so you will definitely have good times to enjoy. Okay, so for Libra, not so favorable. Take care. Now let's look at Scorpio or Vrishchika. So this I would say is the most affected sign because the eclipse is taking place in the house of obstacles, that is the 8th house. So there could be things like there could be situations where you may experience death, not exactly the death, I would say the situations which can bring in extreme obstruction. Okay, death like situations. So those could be prevalent in your workplace, in your family, around you. This is the time for you to be very alert, careful, and tread very cautiously. otherwise you're going to get, or you're going to get hit, or you're going to suffer very badly. So the mantra for you would be like, just stay calm, stay alert, do the japa, make some charity. Better days are ahead for you. Now when I move to the next sign, that is the Sagittarius, the eclipse is taking place in the 7th house. 7th house is the house of your partner, your business. Okay, so now more than you, your partner is going to get affected. Could be a business partner, could be a spouse, both. So your husband or wife may have a daunting time in the workplace, and if it's a housewife, then probably the home front may not be really supportive. There could be a lot of challenges. There could be humiliation, a lot of difficult situations one has to face. And health is one area which may get really affected. So you need to take care about it. Stay alert, watch your intake, exercise properly, do the pranayama, yoga, So all those things are going to help you to pass through this period. Now coming to Makara or Capricorn. Capricorn, you're fortunate. It's going to be very beneficial for you. So it can bring in good health, wealth, and victory in your undertakings. Okay, it's going to happen in your 6th house. So there could be a lot of activity happening after the eclipse. So for Capricorn, good, make the best use of it. And for Aquarius or Kumbha, it's going to be a challenging one, because it's going to happen in your 5th house. You could experience troubles through children. Their health may not be good, or you may have to attend to them. They may be very belligerent. All those things can be seen. And apart from that, avoid speculation in this time. So maybe till August, be very careful. Don't speculate. Be alert on what you spend, what you invest. Okay, so these things are really going to be working against you if you are not careful. So for Aquarius or Kumbha Rashi, caution is the mantra. Do the japa, do charity, you're going to have better days ahead. And finally, when I come to Pisces or Meena, it is the 12th Rashi, and now when I look at it, the eclipse is happening in the 4th house, the house of comforts, house of mother, house of property, house of education and whatnot. So now what you need to take care of is your mother's health may get affected. So watch out for that. And your health also may be affected, and you may not have the expected comfort that you are enjoying so far. So this period is only for 1 or 2 months, okay, but yes, it's definitely going to have its impact upon you. There could be some difficult moments in the family. There could be misunderstandings. That means mainly it is going to hit the area of your comfort, your property, all those things are going to have you may have to fight for all those things. So this was about the solar eclipse affecting the 12 Rashis or moon signs. Now how do we, ward off or reduce the negative effects? That could be the next question which you might ask. Now the best mantra that is suggested by the Maharishis and everyone is the Mahamrutyunjaya Japa. That means if you can do one mala, that means 108 times a day for continuously 11 days after the eclipse, then you can actually kind of reduce your suffering, and in some cases you may even get rid of your sufferings because of the eclipse. So please do the Mahamrutyunjaya mantra. And eclipse time as such is a very good time, because this is the time where you can do sadhana. That means you can start something which you may not have been able to do. That means you can do a mantra, you can do the anusthana, what we call it. That means I decide that okay, I chant this mantra and then I can decide on any activity that I want to do. You're going to find success. Select a simple mantra that you know or that you have been given diksha from your guru, or you can ask your guru or mentor to give you a mantra before the eclipse. A simple mantra could be like, let's say we can pray Ganesha. So predominantly what I said was that there could be a lot of obstacles coming in for you. So let us pray to Lord Ganesha, the remover of obstacles. A simple mantra like Om Gam Ganapate Nama can actually work like a boon for you, because this is one of the mantras which really helps everybody. So what you can do, chant this mantra. You take bath, sit in a quiet place. If you're in the nature, then nothing like it, but depending on the situation, you decide, sit at a place, then peacefully chant this mantra from the time the eclipse starts. So for example, for Bangalore, the eclipse starts at around 10-12 a.m. in the morning and it ends at 1:32 p.m. in the afternoon. So you have good like 3.5 hours or so, more than 3 hours I would say, for you to do that japa or anusthana. So what you can do is you can chant that mantra as many times as possible, because they say the punya that you can gain from a mantra, from chanting of a mantra or doing a japa during the eclipse is like 100,000 times amplified. So that is something which is very auspicious. And if you plan to learn a new mantra or some tantra, of course be on the positive side, that is very important for you. So learn it, practice it, because that's going to change your life. So generally this period of eclipse, we call it the period of transformation. So the steps we do, the actions we do, or the actions we take up, the steps we take up really shape us for the future. So I hope that this eclipse will bring in a lot of transformation in you. I pray for your peace, prosperity and wealth. Do practice all the remedies, do the japa, and you can also do the danas. That means you can give away the grains that each planet represents. For example, for Sun you can give away wheat and jaggery. For Moon and Venus you can give annadana. That means you can feed people, you can donate rice at a place where they feed people. For Mercury you can give green gram or the moong dal, what we call moong, the sabut moong, the full moong, you can give that. And for Rahu and Saturn we say that you can give the black gram or the udad, the whole udad. And then you can give black sesame, yellow, what we call in Kannada, so that can be given. And coconut can be given. And for Ketu, if you see, you can offer the horse gram or the huruli kadu, what we call them. Then for Guru, you can give yellow dal, okay, or yellow colored sweets, yellow colored cloths, saffron, honey, okay, a lot of things that you can donate for Jupiter. And for Mars you can donate the tuar dal or anything that is red colored, okay, could be cloth. These are the remedies that you can do. Or you can do a japa of their mantras. You can as simply say that Om Gurave Nama, that is good enough for you, okay. So do these remedies during the eclipse time and you will definitely find transformation coming into your lives, okay. So I pray for your prosperity and success. Wish you all the best. May this eclipse bring in that required transformation. Namaskar.